Why did a huge passenger plane glide down into a place it was never supposed to land? Because something went wrong so quietly that nobody believed it at first. No explosion, no movie drama, just two pilots staring at each other thinking, are we really doing this right now? In 1983, Air Canada Flight 143. It started as the most normal flight you can imagine. People reading, people napping, someone probably asking for a refill. A big plane cruising like a flying hotel with snacks. Then tiny warning signs showed up. Not the kind that screams disaster, more like a quiet little, "That is weird." Here is the scary part. The plane did not feel broken. No shaking, no loud bang, nothing dramatic. It was like your phone showing 50% battery and then dying 5 seconds later. The pilots checked again and again, because surely a plane this big cannot just run out, right? Right? Then the first real no moment happened. One engine stopped. You're thinking, okay, that is bad, but there's another one. Exactly. That is what everyone thinks, including the pilots. They tried the usual fixes. The plane kept flying, but the confidence in the front seats started leaking fast. And then the second engine stopped too. At that moment, the plane is not really a plane anymore. It is a very expensive, very heavy paper airplane. No roar, no push, just wind noise. And one terrifying thought. Wait, how much fuel did we actually have? Because on paper, it looked like they should have had enough. In real life, the sky had other plans. Now they had one job: find somewhere to land, fast. Not a perfect place, not a pretty place, just a place that exists. But the nearest option was not a normal airport. It was complicated. The pilots looked at each other and basically said, "This is going to sound insane." And they turned toward it. Here is why it was never supposed to land there. That runway was not acting like a runway that day. People were on the ground, not airport staff, not emergency teams. Regular people having a regular day in a place that suddenly had a silent passenger plane gliding toward them. So yes, never supposed to land is an understatement. And now the big question. How does a modern passenger plane end up with basically no fuel without anyone catching it in time? The answer is embarrassingly simple, and it starts with one number. Okay, here is the whole disaster in plain words. They treated pounds like kilograms. That is a huge problem, because 1 kilogram is about 2.2 pounds. So the math said there was plenty of fuel, but reality said not even close. Result, the plane took off with less than half the fuel everyone believed was on board. Same number, wrong unit, and the sky does not accept refunds. Now picture the front of the plane. Still no Hollywood explosion, just warning sounds, then one engine goes quiet, then the other. Suddenly the pilots are flying something that feels like a very expensive elevator, but sideways. They aimed for the closest place that could possibly work, Gimli, an old airbase. And the weird part returns. It was not operating like a normal airport that day. Down on the ground, people were doing normal weekend stuff because the place was not running like a proper airport that day. Then a sound that made no sense. Not a jet roar, just a fast-growing whoosh. A huge passenger plane appears, silent and very low. No second try. This is the only try. People look up thinking, is this a show? And the next second they realize, oh, that is not a show. The pilots line it up and come in fast. The plane hits the ground hard. It bounces one time. Then it grips the surface like it is fighting not to slide into disaster. Then the front end dips. The front wheels give way. The nose scrapes along the ground. Sparks and dust fly as it slows down. On the ground, people scatter. Inside, passengers brace. Bags jump, hearts stop. Then the silence comes back. The plane is stopped, it is damaged, some people are hurt, but unbelievably, everyone is alive. So why is this story famous? Because it was not one villain. It was not a cursed plane. It was a chain of normal things lining up in the worst way. A small display problem, a manual check, a unit mix-up, people doing their job but trusting the wrong unit. And the final boss was a boring number on paper. The sky does not care what you meant. It only cares what you actually loaded. And the wildest part? If just one person had said, "Wait, are we using kilograms or pounds?" this entire story might not exist. So if you enjoyed this weird but true aviation moment, stick around. Next time, I will show you another real flight that looked like reality glitched.